Open a new tab, type a question you could probably answer yourself if your brain had not already opened 47 background processes, press enter. In less than a second, Google decides which part of the internet you see first. It can point you toward a restaurant, sell an advertisement beside the answer, open a map, translate a page, find a video, or quietly learn what you might buy next. Yahoo had the chance to own that machine. Twice. The title calls it a $150 billion mistake because Google crossed that valuation only a few years after Yahoo rejected its price. Today, Alphabet is worth trillions. Yahoo's core internet business was eventually sold for roughly $4.5 billion. That is not a decline, that is corporate evaporation. But this story is not really about one executive missing one obvious deal. That version is too clean. It turns a 20-year strategic failure into a motivational poster about believing in young founders. The deeper problem was simpler and more dangerous. Yahoo looked directly at the future and evaluated it using the business model of the past. In the late 1990s, Yahoo was one of the most important doors into the internet. News, finance, sports, email, shopping, directories, entertainment. The idea was to become a destination. You arrived, clicked around, saw advertisements, and stayed. Search behaved differently. A good search engine helps users leave. You ask a question, receive a useful result, and disappear onto somebody else's website. From the perspective of a portal company selling banner ads, that can look less like the center of the business and more like an emergency exit. Google saw the exit and realized it was actually the highway. A widely repeated account says that in 1998, Larry Page and Sergey Brin offered their young search algorithm to Yahoo for $1 million. They wanted to continue their studies. Yahoo refused. $1 million. Yahoo was already a major internet company. Google was still a research project with a strange name and two founders who looked more comfortable near a server rack than inside a boardroom. Refusing probably felt safe. That's how these decisions usually arrive. Not with thunder, with a reasonable spreadsheet. Google kept building. Its search system used links between websites as signals of relevance. Pages referenced by other important pages became more valuable. The result was cleaner, faster, and increasingly better than the crowded portals surrounding it. Yahoo noticed. The future was already running inside its homepage. In 2000, Yahoo selected Google to provide its search results. This is where the story becomes rude. Yahoo placed Google inside Yahoo. Millions of users searched through Yahoo and received results powered by Google. Yahoo gave its future competitor traffic, credibility, usage, and a public demonstration that Google's product worked. It was like hiring a younger engineer to operate your most important system, introducing him to every customer, and then acting surprised when the customers start calling him directly. By 2002, Yahoo CEO Terry Semel understood that Google was no longer a university side project. He offered roughly $3 billion to acquire it. Google's founders wanted $5 billion. Yahoo refused the counteroffer and walked away. At the time, $5 billion looked aggressive. Google was still private. The dot-com crash had filled the market with companies that had impressive traffic and no durable business. Paying that amount required believing that search would become more than a feature. Yahoo did not believe enough. And that $2 billion gap matters because Yahoo had already offered $3 billion. The company knew Google was valuable. It had seen the product working inside its own platform. It had watched users prefer cleaner results. The argument was no longer about whether Google mattered, it was about the final price. Then, Yahoo spent far more money proving that price was never the real problem. It bought Broadcast.com for $5.7 billion. The idea was early internet audio and video. Streaming eventually became enormous, but Yahoo paid for a future it did not know how to build. It bought GeoCities for roughly $4.5 billion. GeoCities had one of the largest online communities in the world, filled with personal pages, rotating graphics, visitor counters, and enough animated fire to overheat a modern browser. Yahoo acquired the audience, struggled to evolve the product, and eventually shut it down. Years later, it bought Tumblr for $1.1 billion. Another large community, another younger audience, another chance to become culturally relevant. Yahoo later wrote down most of the value. Broadcast.com alone cost more than Google's $5 billion counteroffer. So the company was not afraid of expensive acquisitions. It was willing to spend billions. It just repeatedly spent them on businesses it could not integrate while refusing the company that threatened its position at the center of the web. Very efficient. Now look at the pattern, because the numbers are trying to tell you something. Yahoo had traffic, money, users, engineers, distribution, and a famous brand. What it lacked was a stable answer to one question: what business are we actually in? Yahoo behaved like a media company, a portal, an advertising network, a communications platform, a shopping center, and occasionally a warehouse where executives stored websites they had recently purchased. Google behaved like a search company. One company had many priorities. The other had a weapon. Search captured intent. A person reading random news might be difficult to monetize. A person searching for a hotel, laptop, insurance policy, plumber, or flight is announcing what they may be ready to buy. Google connected advertising to that intent. Better results attracted more users. More searches attracted more advertisers. More revenue funded better infrastructure. Better infrastructure improved the product. A flywheel. Yahoo had a crowd. Google had customers holding their wallets open. This is the point where the easy explanation says that Yahoo should have simply purchased Google and won. Maybe, but acquisitions aren't magic spells. Yahoo might have bought Google, buried it inside the portal, covered the page with banners, forced every product decision through 12 committees, and renamed PageRank something like Yahoo Enhanced Relevance Experience Plus. Larry Page and Sergey Brin might have left. The engineering culture might have collapsed. The product might have become another purple button beside weather and horoscopes. Yahoo had already shown that buying a promising company and understanding what to do with it were separate skills. One is acquisition. The other is competence. That's the counterintuitive twist. The failure was not only refusing Google. The refusal exposed a deeper problem. Yahoo saw Google as a supplier when Google was becoming infrastructure. Then the balance reversed. In 2008, Microsoft offered roughly $40 billion to acquire Yahoo. Yahoo refused, arguing that the offer undervalued the company. The business that had refused to pay $5 billion for Google now refused to sell itself for $40 billion. Apparently, $5 billion was too much money when Yahoo was buying the future, and $40 billion was too little when Yahoo was selling the past. 9 years later, Verizon acquired Yahoo's core internet operations for roughly $4.4 to $4.8 billion, less than Google's 2002 counteroffer. Meanwhile, Google became one of the most valuable companies in history. Beautiful symmetry, terrible balance sheet. But don't laugh too comfortably. This decision is still happening. A large company discovers a small team building technology that could replace one of its core products. Executives call it a feature. Finance calls the valuation irrational. Strategy creates a slide deck. The company buys 3 safer startups, launches an innovation program, and holds a panel about disruption. The small team keeps building. The product improves. Customers move. 5 years later, the large company announces a strategic transformation focused on the market it used to control. You can see the same pattern around artificial intelligence now. Companies with enormous distribution treat foundational changes as optional add-ons because the current business still prints money. They optimize the portal while somebody else builds the highway. The mistake is rarely that leaders cannot see the new technology. They see it. They test it. Sometimes they even distribute it. What they cannot do is value a future that makes their current identity obsolete. Yahoo did not lose because it lacked opportunities. It lost because it repeatedly confused size with understanding. It bought audiences without preserving communities. It bought technology without building around engineering. It valued Google like a vendor when Google was becoming the operating layer of the internet. The $150 billion mistake was never one unsigned contract. It was a company looking directly at the future and asking if it could get a small discount. Anyway, my Chimarrón has been sitting here so long that Yahoo would probably offer $5.7 billion for it.